up, YouTube? This is Stay Low, and today I want to talk about how I know I talked about this in my other video, but um, what are good ways, or how are good ways that good black men and good black women can meet and approach each other? And I know, like I said, I've touched on this lightly, but I think it requires a little bit more emphasis, just because that seems to be the main problem. It's not it's not that you're not meeting any black men or women. Black men and black men women are not meeting, but the good black women and the good black men are not meeting. And so, I'm personally getting ready to graduate, and I'm moving to another huge metropolitan city, a tri-city, and I'm thinking about it too. So here it goes. What encouraged me to record today was because I talked to one of my good friends, um, excellent friend. She's, soon to be 30, single, professional, and she took my advice. She went to a professional networking event, met a nice guy there. They talked for a few hours, a couple of hours, bought her a couple of drinks, really hit it off. And she says, but I don't think he likes me because he gave me his business card and before he left. And she says that she called her girlfriend up, which is also someone that's heading towards 30. And she said, well, if he likes you, then he'll call you. He'll look you up. He'll figure out where you work at. And I think that when she told me this, I instantly got irritated because I knew that she was talking to a professional black stereotypical woman. That's exactly who she was talking to. He's got to do this. He's got to be your knight in shining armor. Without realizing the statistics of how many black men are out there available, without realizing that the game has changed as far as black women are not sitting on a pedestal, or they've never been sitting on a pedestal in history, and any man is running up to them. Doesn't work that way. Now, if you're a stereotypical black woman, you may be used to guys going crazy, running after you, but it doesn't live long. It fuses and it burns out. Why? Because it was superficial to begin with. So my advice to her was, number one, don't listen to your friend anymore. But it was that men show when they're interested through their actions. I know there's a lot of women that would love to be called beautiful, would love to be swooned and, as they walk by, touched by a man, and, hear comments about what they think about you. But when you're dealing with a good black man, and we don't have any way of knowing that, but given the venue, given their discussion, and given the way that she was acting, her signals indicated to me that this was probably a good black man. And we have to assume that until you prove otherwise. So his actions clearly show that he was interested. And I think that he very much distinguished himself from other players and thugs and stereotypical professional black men because he dedicated time to talk to you one on one in the venue, was complimentary by buying you drinks to continue the conversation, and he gave you his business card without being overbearing and saying, "Oh, I want to holler at you. Here's my number." Is that what we want, women? Is that the way we want to be approached? A guy doesn't know you and he just instantly asks you for private, personal information? You know, what if he had more respect for you and was giving you his information so that he wasn't overbearing on you? And he was showing you through his actions that he liked you and leaving it in your court. He took the first move. But what do we as women do? Oh, he didn't do this. He didn't buy me roses. He didn't ask me out that night. He might not know who you are. Maybe he wants more conversation. Maybe since he was in a professional setting, he acted accordingly. But because we're used to players and cocky, self-absorbed men who don't care about asking you for your number, we instantly miss a good thing. We have to stop doing that. If a guy approaches you in what you think is a non-traditional way, he's probably not like 90% or 100% of the men that you're used to dealing with. And so, I think that our friends are misguiding us. And it's something you're not going to be used to. You're not going to be used to guys coming up, and not instantly complimenting you on your looks. They might give you a handshake. They might want to respect you in this new feminist movement, you know, which to a certain extent has good aspects and to a certain extent has bad. But we got to stop doing that. You know, if he shows he's interested through his actions and he spends time talking to you and there's eye contact and he's asking questions and he's sharing a little bit about himself and he offers a couple of drinks, good. And guess what? If you email him and say, hey, I had a good time, with you, I enjoyed our conversation, here's my contact information, let's keep in touch. One of two things can happen. Either he's not going to respond or he's going to respond in a way that indicates to you he's not interested. And in that case, that's perfectly fine. Maybe he's a business contact. Maybe he's got a wife. Maybe he has a serious relationship, and you guys can just be friends. Or he could be interested. So it's a win-win situation. But because we are used to being pursued by players who drop to their knees and ask for our numbers, we're missing it. We are missing it. So think about that. Think about it. And think about all the times you've been approached as a woman. How have you been approached? And if you've been approached by guys come up to you, getting numbers and singing softly in your ear, when a real man comes to you, you're going to think the opposite. But you're not used to it. And you've been attracting the wrong men. A real man is not going to do that. And if a real man does, other actions are not going to be consistent with those other guys that have been players or not been ready for a serious relationship. So don't be afraid of being risky. Don't be afraid of, giving out your number. Don't be afraid of even approaching a guy. Don't be afraid of sitting there talking to him, conversing with him, asking him questions. Let's get off of this pedestal that in history we've never been on. Besides the players, they're going to ditch you anyway. Makes no sense.